Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Blue's Exploration, a channel devoted to exploration through travel, history, politics, and everything in between. This first series will explore how one plans a very successful trip, looking at pre-planning, planning, and execution, so you, dear viewer, may have an excellent experience when planning for your adventures. I have been travelling for over 20 years. I've been to 6 continents and 28 countries. This season the first video will cover the planning for this year's adventures. The first trip of the year will be my annual trips in January and February. In this series of videos, I will cover the varying destinations and in-depth reviews of each place. Before that, we will cover what equipment will be using this season based on my experiences from my previous exploits. The name Big Blue comes from my extensive use of blue in my ski clothing, sometimes 90%. This video will use footage from previous seasons and give commentary where appropriate on locations, my experiences of those resorts with specific reviews coming down the line. This season is a big year. I will be trying telemark skiing for the first time. This year, the plan is a trip to Japan, a European trip, and possibly a US trip. In November 2025, a trip to New Zealand is also in the pre-planning stage. Looking ahead, in other travelling adventures, there will be a look into 2026 with the US, Canada, Caribbean, and return to Asia Pacific, as well as pre-planning for African and European trips in 2026-2027. A bit about my background. I am an aviation intern. I've had many years of business experience with a degree in business management and a master's in aviation management. I follow global events very carefully and am well tuned to international issues. I love skiing to the point of annoying my friends and family. I have been to 46 resorts so far and plan to reach 60 this season. I've taken over 185 flights with many different airlines, seeing the good, the bad, and ugly in hotels as well as the sublime. I enjoy many other pursuits, including walking, cycling, and swimming. Requests are welcome for future videos. At some point, there will be an opportunity to ask questions and input into future videos. As someone who is known for being fair and transparent, all travel is self-funded unless otherwise specified. I will not shy away from collaborations, but fairly judge using the same criteria as the rest of the videos. The criteria are service, quality of experience, employees, their attitude, the cost of said experience, and the overall enjoyment. The videos will explore the in-depth planning, trips, and pitfalls that might occur, and the need to having multiple contingencies. Japan, the land of the rising sun, for millennia of the culture, place of serenity, meets the 21st century, where one can be lost in ancient and quiet pursuits, or in modern high-speed rail and powering down through the snowy peaks of Hokkaido. It is essential when considering that Japan is still very traditional and quiet in its ways. Loud talking and failure to respect is like capital crime in the sphere of public opinion. Going to Japan is not just a holiday, but an immersive experience. Learning some of the language is very important. It is also important to remember that you can never be too grateful or apologetic when considering Japan. It is important to know what sort of experience that you want. Traditional one on small hotels, guest houses, and futon style mattresses, or more westernized versions. Japan can be very expensive to get to, but accommodation costs vary from the cheap to the very expensive. This trip, I am taking the opportunity to build airline status by taking 9 flights to get to Nagoya in Japan. The plan is to ski in Nozawa Onsen, Shigakogen, Myokokogen, and a few other resorts. 11 days of skiing in total. This means utilising the Shinkansen, local bus services, and the plan to telemark skiing for the first time. I have skied in many countries, including the US, Canada, Austria, and Andorra. This will be my first time in Japan. Skiing the level is very good, and off-piste alpine skiing. And I know I am in the right state, hopefully master telemark in the coming years. In preparation for this trip, I have been brushing up on my Japanese language, and it's important that I should try to interact in some level, even if very basic. It shows that those around you that you respect the country and the culture. Also, I have been working on my leg strengthening exercises to better equip myself for the added strain involved in constantly lunging. I've been ranging of equipments for this season, which I will detail in another video as I ramp up my preparations for the season, especially through October and November. Sneak peeks. My travel itinerary will include flying with BA and Cathay Pacific and involving Jakarta and Dublin. I will be covering other trips that I have taken in the past year to the US and Canada and South Africa. I will be quick to comment on any issues, aviation, and other stories within my expertise, with further deep dives into companies and futures of the industry. Thank you very much.